Raph.
James,
It's good to be back in the seat. What's been going on? What's happening in your world?
what's happening in my world, mate? A lot's happening. Well, I got my birthday coming up, actually. Coming up pretty soon. You're coming to one of the events on my birthday. And did you know
just the one?
Yes.
Okay. No, it's fine. Yeah.
It might go for more than a day. Do you know I actually share a birthday with two gentlemen whose lives ended tragically?
Oh, yeah. Who do you share a birthday with, Raph?
Charlie Kirk
Okay. Yeah.
and George Floyd.
Wow.
We're all Libras. Three
men.
Libras.
Dare I say 3 men who changed it all.
Auspicious date. October 14.
Yeah. But we're here to talk about technology, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's lock into business. And we're going to be talking about a device
That you put on your face.
that you put on your face. And you might be thinking, oh, you've talked about that kind of stuff before. Well, this time it's different.
Yeah, absolutely. We're also going to talk about that's the Meta Ray-Bans, obviously. If you're a fool, the TikTok ban watch it continues. It keeps threatening to end, folks.
We'll be talking about TikTok ban watch until the Down Around podcast shuts down, folks.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe, and we're going to get to NVIDIA taking a stake in Intel. We're talking about NVIDIA taking a stake in OpenAI. That's more than likely on the paid episode. Well as maybe like a bit of Huawei chat. Fair bit going on.
There's a bit going on.
We timed our episode last week to perfection, in particular because we recorded one day earlier. And so, of course, we mentioned, the Meta might have the new... Actually, we talked at length about augmented reality and how they're probably going to release it. Well, they obviously did.
Yeah. Yes.
And on the Oracle episode, we're like... And obviously, some of that might be because of speculation about them potentially being part of a TikTok deal.
And that also turned out to be quite true.
And it came out like the day after we recorded and the day
So
before.
we apologise that last week's episodes were both invalidated very quickly. But...
Not invalidated. I would say in some ways confirmed. Just lacking in the relevant information.
That's right. So the new Meta Ray-Bans were announced.
The Meta Ray-Ban display.
Yeah. And this is coming back to, just to give a bit of the context again, Meta, obviously one of their big goals as a company over the past couple of years, especially after their partnership with Ray-Ban was successful, is to create their version of the successor to the iPhone, and they are rolling the dice on glasses.
Yeah.
And these ones, because remember there was, I guess... Orion, which I think was, 12 to 18 months ago now?
Yeah, maybe 9 to 12 months, I'm going to say.
Yeah, where it was basically Meta showing off a product that they said is not going to be ready for years.
Yeah.
This is kind of part way into that journey.
Yeah, so the Orion glasses were augmented reality, but everything was... it was all in one. They claimed it wasn't a phone replacement, but it had like a puck that was basically a computer, as well as a thing around your wrist and glasses. It was kind of an all-in-one. Whereas these are not that. They are basically like the Meta Ray-Bans, which currently have cameras and, speakers and microphones so you can talk to AI. But there is a heads-up display and it does attach to your phone.
Yep.
There's actually debate about whether this is AR or not. I think it definitely is.
Yep.
I don't know how we've moved the goalposts on what augmented reality is. I think I was claiming that friggin' AirPods were augmented reality. So, I'm obviously in the camp that, if you augment reality, it's augmented reality. But in this case, we should probably say where they are. Connects to your phone. You've got a wristband thing around your wrist. This kind of, what's it called? Like a haptic analyzer thing, whatever.
Yep.
Get it to that in a second. And Ray-Ban glasses that, yes, it's got, speakers and... a microphone so you can talk to AI. But most importantly, the most interesting thing is in the right eye, there is a heads-up display.
There's a display.
And it does things doesn't do that many things, but it's notifications. It will do subtitles, captioning.
Yep.
You know, translations, and like if you use the mapping, which is Meta's own mapping, it's not Google Maps or Apple Maps or anything.
Yep.
It'll give you like arrows and directions and that kind of things in your glasses, as well as they claim not on launch, but you will be able to, don't worry, scroll Instagram Reels.
What? Watch Reels while staring into middle distance, presumably while having a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know if there are many of you who are regular Reels watchers. It seems like that is a service that's scaling very well. But I will say that, you know, when I open TikTok, it shows me a wall of targeted content. And when I open Reels, it is like peering into the ninth circle of hell. I see like just like a stream of videos about Catholic golfers or something. And I'm like, okay, well, this is cool. You've really missed me on multiple fronts there. But soon you'll be able to do that without even looking down at your phone.
Yeah. Now, a lot to unpack here. I want to preface all of this by saying, are we hurtling towards damnation and doom?
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Yes. We can
Clearly.
Next topic.
Do I want to buy the glasses? Also, yes.
Yeah. And they are fairly economical because they are selling them way below cost.
Yeah, surely. So $7.99 US, and in the first instance, they're only going to be released in the US, but other markets will be coming soon. So, you know, AUD, I mean, the American dollar isn't doing so well at the moment. Like, it's like $1,200, something like that. That is cheaper than I would have guessed.
Yeah, well, and because as has been reported widely, they are selling them hugely at cost, which is, again, interesting. Apple has never sold its devices at loss.
No.
It doesn't. Its iPhones have always been an incredibly profitable part of its business.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. They're very disciplined with their margins.
But, you know, the other kind of hardware product that sells at loss is video game consoles. Video game consoles almost always sell at loss, and then they make it back through software sales. But Meta says they have no plans imminently to release an app store for it.
Yeah, so I think this is more... Okay, on that front, there is the hump, the changing paradigm. So I wanted to buy the old Meta Ray-Bans to the point where I went to Sunglasses Hut and put them on, and I just couldn't pull the trigger because I saw myself with the little cameras on my glasses. And I was like, I just can't be the guy to wear these. Now, apparently, they're selling pretty well, especially with young people. They're selling well in sports. Like, a lot of people who are into, like, you know, skateboarders and this, that, and the other, like, they're selling really well in that kind of arena.
I reckon there's probably there'd be like a GoPro-ish segment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's like a GoPro-y segment, whatever. My guess is that they basically need to make them socially acceptable to a certain extent, and a way to do that would be like make them as cheap as possible.
Make sure until
get them in as many hands as possible.
Yeah, because they still have the Google Glass problem, where there are people who even now will have a visceral reaction when they learn that someone that they're talking to is wearing surveillance glasses.
Yes, and you know these look fine.
Yeah,
in that. I think chunky glasses like are a little bit in to a certain extent. You know, there are plenty of people who wear naturally chunky glasses. You can I would say, get away with them from like a pure aesthetic perspective because they are chunkier because they have to fucking have computers in the arms and in the frames. Like, you know, fair bit going on.
Yeah.
So like that hump I think is still going to be the biggest, and also like they probably want to learn, right? They're not trying to make money off this stuff. They make enough money off ads.
Yeah.
That it's like get it into market, get it quick, get the data, understand why people use and iterate. You know,
yeah,
it's classic Facebook shit.
Totally. The core Meta model, they don't need to be making huge hardware profits because that's not their engine in the same way as it has been for Apple or whatever in the past. So yeah, totally. I agree. This is more data for Meta. Eventually, you can show ads probably on this thing.
Yeah, but establish the user base.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of benefits in the long run, like as well as even if you're not showing ads on them explicitly, you know, they're probably getting a fair bit of data on the user when they have cameras in the fucking glasses and microphones.
And they're always
they can actually do the thing that people claim they do now, which is like listen to your conversations, which they don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, like there's, you know, a bunch of benefits, but I think a large part of it is just like get as many people into these things, normalize them as quickly as possible. Now, as I said, two things can be true. I, as a gadget head who wears glasses, a few of us, I want the glasses with the heads-up display.
Yeah, okay.
It's dream stuff. You know, this is what we... Come on.
This is why we stuck our head above the tall grass on the savannah.
We wanted...
get at this stuff.
As a kid, like, I mean, we wanted a heads-up display in your glasses that no one else can see. We always wanted this, guys. Like, we wanted this, to be honest.
Guys, this is what you wanted.
And then but the flip side of a world where everyone is kind of always recording every conversation in order to, like, talk to AI later about... To be clear, this is not what these do, but, like, it's obviously... more than a step. It's a long way. It's a 95%.
It's a leap in that direction.
In the direction of, like, all conversations being kind of recorded so that you can ask your AI later, you know, what did he say and what did I do? And what should I get him and this, that, and the other, as well as, like, filming everything.
Yeah. And also, like, you know, and I still haven't really made the decision as to whether it's, like, qualitatively different from this, but, you know, I've saw some of these early reviews. Like they had that, The Verge did a really, really positive write-up of them, and the person was basically like, "These are actually kind of sick."
And I hate these things.
I hate it. This is bad. This is kind of sick. And I think it was that review that went into the fact where it's like you can tell when someone is wearing them and is looking at it and they're not paying attention to you, but they're looking at you. But you can tell they're distracted by something in a way that's very, very unsettling and weird.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out if that's like, because, you know, often, and I do it myself, is like you'll be in a group situation with a bunch of people and you're fully distracted by your phone because you're looking at something.
Yeah.
That's like pretty standard social behavior for better or worse now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is different that, like, you know, you'll have people sitting around in fucking chunky glasses sort of looking at you, but you can kind of tell that...
It's so bad
they're watching reels or whatever.
Well, like,
I mean, that's worst case.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, you know, the experience now is if you have to line up for anything, you whip your phone out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, as in, if you're...
It's great for lights.
Yeah.
I would say the queuing experience has improved immeasurably across our lifetimes.
But the point is, and this has been discussed ad nauseum, but it's like the human mind now cannot... stand to spend 30 seconds without some kind of stimulus.
Yeah.
And it's like the second that our brain is not being stimulated in some way, we immediately reach for the phone and, like, make it be stimulated.
Yep.
Of course, when you have it in your glasses and you're in conversation with someone, the second that your brain starts to be like, this conversation is not stimulating enough, and you're able to control what's on the screen with your fingers and hands, because that's the whole point of the thing around your wrist, is that, like, it can, like, sense the neurons in your nerves or whatever, so you can kind of control it with various hand gestures, which could be under the table or in your pocket or whatever.
Yep.
Of course, like, when you're in a conversation that's just not, like, 100% stimulating like ours is right now, you're just going to whip out reels and just, like, or read the notification that's, like, pinging up there in the top right of your glasses and just be distracted because, like, there's always something more stimulating to do. Yep. Like, at any one time, if you're not at kind of full dopamine release, you can just, like, hit it. That doesn't feel good.
You could watch it. You could be locked in while you're in church or whatever. You know, you're at a wedding and you're scrolling.
I think my fear is more just in conversation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, because that we said we're going to talk about it, but the wrist, as you said, the wrist thing lets you do essentially the gestures that you can do with, like, the Apple Vision Pro, but that is all camera based. Whereas this is, as you say, you can put your hand behind your back or under a table, make the gestures, and this wristband captures your gestures and translates to the glasses. Including
if you, like, write letters with your fingers or whatever, that's how you can kind of type with it in the air and whatnot. So you can, like, input things if you really wanted. So that idea that everyone around you at any one time is probably distracted by other things is a little concerning. As well as the idea that, like, you know, notifications at the best of times are fucking anxiety inducing. And like, people get mad at me because I don't check my phone enough, because I just have it on do not disturb all the time because I don't want to be fucking disturbed, you know? What, you guys want to be disturbed? Or disturb me mode?
For the record, mate, I don't have any issues with doing that, and well, maybe I have. But I've never done the send. I've never punched through your do not disturb.
I don't know if many people have. That's it. Like, if it's like work hours, I got messages sitting there. So like work hours, I'm probably on.
Yeah.
But you know, like, but my point is, like, it's not healthy to have a red dot that kind of is constantly sitting there being like, do this, do this, do this. And if that's in your glasses, that doesn't feel great.
I get real annoyed. Like, I almost never turn do not disturb on. Right? I almost never do.
Oh, really?
No. And maybe I should, because I get very pissed off when I'm doing something and like my watch is pinging me with notifications.
My watch, I never have on like notifications basically on my watch. Sorry, they show up on the face, but I'd never have it on like vibrate or whatever.
The annoying thing for me is that I receive a lot of emails that I have to address very, very quickly. The times that I've even turned my emails onto priority and not all, I miss stuff that I need to be responding to,
right? Which
is very annoying, and especially when it's pinging on the watch, it's a nightmare. So having it in front of my eye, I think would be bad.
With that said,
you're getting them.
I want them so bad.
Also, I'm going to point out another thing, which is another business story, but I think it's one that gets a bit underrated. Big win for our good friends at EssilorLuxottica.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a little bit out from tech, but it's a business story worth knowing. EssilorLuxottica is like one of the most vertically integrated businesses on earth. It's a crazy business.
Yeah.
So Luxottica make frames, glasses frames, and Essilor, which they merged with. So Luxottica, Italian company, Essilor, French, I'm pretty sure. Essilor makes lenses, Luxottica makes frames. They've merged. They also own basically every glasses retailer.
Yeah, so, well, not just retailer, but they're in more than 150 brands.
Yeah.
Ray-Ban, Oakley, Oliver Peoples, Persol, Michael Kors, Prada, Vogue Eyewear, Dolce & Gabbana. This is all of the eyewear things.
The Luxottica brand, yeah.
Sunglasses Hut, Kodak Lens, Versace Eyewear. Like, I mean...
Yeah, the insight that the Luxottica guys had, because they figured out and nailed the design of the frames of glasses, which is like an annoying thing to do. And obviously, like, lens design came later when they merged. But they basically went to brands like Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, all these high fashion brands, and they said, you can do all the design for all the high fashion stuff. You can do the cool, ostentatious, interesting frame designs. And we will make it actually work as glasses, and we will do like the industrial design. We will make sure they actually function as, because, you know, obviously glasses are way more intricate than your average fashion object. We'll do all that. You can do all like the cool, funky, fucking leopard print frames or whatever you want, whatever the fuck. So they have made bucket loads of money doing that forever. They own pretty much the entire glasses sector. They're an unbelievably dominant player. And now they have basically locked themselves into a wearables player.
Yeah. And Meta owns 3% of them. Meta invested $3.5 billion to like lock themselves to like EssilorLuxottica as well.
Because for Meta, it's a matter of just like buying prestige, because you can't, you know, the only tech company on earth, I think, that has innate, natural luxury fashion prestige is Apple. Like, Apple are a luxury brand. They're a fashion brand. They know what they're doing when it comes to, you know, when they got into smartwatches, it was immediately like, okay. They tried to sell it as, you know, when they had the fucking gold
Hermes one.
Yeah. But they can kind of get away with that because they are a luxury brand.
Yeah.
Their laptops are cool and whatever.
No, but Meta has basically locked out all their competitors from. Well, they're basically saying you're going to have to partner with one of the shit tier ones. Let's be frank.
Yeah.
Or work it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to
Yeah.
partner with the number one.
It's basically a perfect deal
monopoly,
because
yeah.
Meta is like, we buy your luxury appeal,
Yeah.
Ray-Bans, which have prestigious history,
And
then-
Oakley now. You can get
and
Oakley.
you can get
but
the
that's
Oakley.
that's part of the sport angle as
That's
well,
the
right?
sport thing, yeah. They can do all that. Whereas, and obviously, Essilor Luxottica is never going to build hardware that's worth anything because they don't have that prestige.
Yeah, well, allegedly these the display ones that we're talking about right now, because as I said, they're pretty chunky. Originally, they were like they didn't want to put the Ray-Ban name to them. They were like they look too shit.
Yeah,
But in the end, they were able to make it small enough that they were like, okay, we'll put the Ray-Ban name to it.
yeah.
Which
okay.
it shows they kind of.
It shows their priority.
But the other thing that Meta got out of that, though, that's worth mentioning is the distribution, because glasses you have to try on.
Yep.
Like, I know that there's all these new age fucking buy them online and you got 100 days to return them, but most normal people, including myself, I'm never fucking doing that. Like,
No, you need to go into a shop.
into a shop and put them on your face, and then ideally buy them there, and that's what they got with like Lens Crafters and Sunglasses Hut and all of the kind of distributors that are also owned by the same brand.
All of them, Luxottica or Essilor Luxottica. It's crazy. Like the exact distribution design, it's as good as a partner as you can get for building that kind of stuff. And the funny thing is, like, it's very clear Apple is going to come out with something like this. Like, they will have glasses.
Well, and Google kind of announced some a couple of months ago, but we haven't had like that much detail about it. But it feels like Meta's in the lead significantly.
It does for now, yeah. But, you know, compare with the fact that when Apple does do it, they have all distribution. They can design the chips, they can do the industrial design, they can do the distribution through Apple stores.
Yeah.
They've got all that on lock. Meta had none of that,
Yeah.
so they had to partner with someone. And there's really no one better than, as I said, Luxottica, who
'Cause
has
it's like,
everything.
What's Google going to do?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to buy the Google ones? Like, actually,
Yeah.
you know, in JB Hi-Fi? Like...
Yeah. I mean, even to this day, like, Google's smartphone stuff is still a bit like, whoa.
Yeah.
Where do you, like, what's the distribution channel? Like, where, like, if I want to buy a Pixel, what's the best way to get one? It's still something you have to think about on a second order level and be like, okay. Whereas, you know, Apple Store, I go to apple.com and I buy it.
Yeah.
They're all there. Or I can go to my carrier or whatever.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah. No, there's some but as I said, yeah, Meta's partnered with the right people.
Yeah, it was a smart move.
It was a smart move.
Whether this is the future is the broader question. So, yeah, people who already wear glasses, it's not, you know, paying. Honestly, even paying $1,000 for frames, it's don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money for like frames because you've got to pay more than for your lenses or whatever. But it's not that much more. I mean, that's the same price as some Gucci's, you know, like, or whatever. Like, people pay more already for the frames than that. I mean, not that many people. Most people go to whatever. They're Bailey Nelson and get 2 pairs for $300.
Warby Parker.
That's it. That's all like the absolute minimum. You know, you're gonna spend. My glasses, standard glasses, probably cost me $800, something like that. For like, but I've got, you know, multifocal, blah 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 blah, all this shit.
Well, I mean, there is also an interesting. I mean, Warby Parker was like the DTC one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because glasses and frames had their DTC moment, as did fucking everything else that was sort of adjacent to that. Could fit into that world. But I don't know if that's really. Do people still do that?
People use. I mean, do people buy them online? Probably. Once you've got your like set. I think that everyone goes to either Bailey Nelson, or in Australia this is, or the other one. What's the other one? There's another one that's like basically the same as Bailey Nelson. Whatever. Point being, like, I don't know. I get what I'm going to get to is, like, you'll know that it's actually working when people who don't wear glasses are buying them.
Well, that's it. I don't wear glasses.
It's going to take a lot to put something on your head.
And I'm slightly weird in the sense that I rarely wear sunglasses either. Like, I do, but it's not natural for me to always be wearing them. I'm probably like the perfect test case for like someone who has very high friction on just like the basic wearables level. Where, I mean, I was also similar where it's like I have never been a huge watch wearer either. I'm not wearing an Apple Watch right now, but I do wear an Apple Watch now. So I do wear a smartwatch, but...
Well, yeah, the question is, like, how useful is the shit in it? You know, like, it's all cool. Just like VR is cool. VR is fucking cool, right? Like, putting a headset on and you feel like you're in another place. When was the last time I put my fucking VR headset on? Couldn't tell you. 6 months ago? I don't know. More.
Yeah.
It's okay. Cool features. I can do like somewhat live, caveat live translation. I can look at a thing and ask what it is. I can look at an artwork and be like, tell me the history of this artwork. You know, I can, get my notifications. I can get directions in my glasses. All sounds cool. Is it killer?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, as described now...
6 hours battery life as well. Not quite long enough. I know they're getting as much as they fucking can, obviously. But 6 hours is like actually... Well, all that means is for the last part of the day, they're just glasses.
Exactly. And if you're someone who, like myself, who doesn't wear glasses...
Well, then it's useless. Yeah, you put them in the case. But for me, what that means is I have to carry 2 pairs of glasses around.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I guess, they'd still work as normal glasses, but they just don't. They're just dumb glasses, I suppose.
I don't know what their current thing is with prescription. What's the idea? Because I think
you can get prescription,
but
only up to a certain level. I think it's only plus minus 4 either side, which is fine for me. But
not. That's not huge, right?
I mean, it's fine. Most people would be within that range. Yeah. Well, not most. Yeah, no, most people who wear glasses would probably be within that range, but it's not huge.
Yeah.
Plenty of people would be outside of that.
Yeah.
My wife may be outside of that.
Yep.
With glasses, she can still see me. Just put your jokes back. I know what you're all thinking.
Guys, put it away. She's seen him. She has seen him. But yeah, no, it's a huge... Like, yeah, for me, I think the friction level is unbelievably high. I'm not interested... I don't care about, like, the being able to film stuff first person or whatever, which is what they've sold it on heretofore to date.
Yeah.
Like, the basic Meta Ray-Bans is like, you know, you wear the glasses, you know, you can do those...
You can say video,
filming. Yeah, exactly. That's not interesting to me at all. I don't care. As just this current pitch for the new ones is also not super compelling to me. Like, I see it being interesting, but I don't think it's useful enough that I would wear it on a daily basis. But I can see it's moving in the direction where it's like, okay, I can see a product here that I would wear.
Yeah, I mean, is there this? I feel. Remember we did the Cluely. We mentioned Cluely in one of the episodes, and I was like,
"Oh yeah."
I thought it was stupid, but like a couple of things it actually suggested. Actually, there's only one thing. One thing it suggested, I said as a joke, and the person who was listening to me was like, "That's a really good idea," and I was like, "Oh
yeah.
shit!" Like, this pains me to even say it, but a world where it's suggesting smart things to say.
But
not necessarily for me or you, as I've said before.
No, I get it. But it's also like, do we arrive in like the verbal version of what we're already currently experiencing of just like experiencing constant fucking ChatGPT generated text in our professional lives?
Yeah.
Except people are saying it to you live.
Yes.
That you know.
But I was watching a few YouTube videos on just various things, and I could tell I'm like, oh, the things you're saying, like your script is from ChatGPT, like that's happening, you know. And this is people who are like, doing kind of YouTube style docos, and I was watching this like random video game stuff. I've got into this weird habit of like watching these like 1 hour long Rust videos. I've never played Rust in my entire life.
Yeah, like that survival game.
Yeah, it's like a survival game, and it's just kind of this slow gaming stuff. And when I'm like doing boring things like cleaning or whatever, I've just been watching these guys like doing hour-long kind of Rust videos, and they talk over what they're doing, explaining what they're doing, and I'm like, this is ChatGPT. Like, you're reading a script that you obviously, you're using ChatGPT to help you write the script. Anyway, so yes, my point is, yes, I can see a world where like people are just NPCing their way through life, reading AI, what AI suggests that they should say.
Yeah. You should say this.
And like, not only that, but think about it in a sales context. This is literally already happening with when you get a call from. I get them all the time from like Microsoft and like Microsoft advertising, LinkedIn advertising, Google advertising, Meta advertising, and it's someone being like, "Hello, Raphael. I have noticed that like," and it's a person saying, just reading from a script. And then obviously I'm like replying, and they're like taking a moment as well as the delay because they're not, I'd say, within our country.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess. And then they're reading from the suggested next thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, you just fucking get it all the time. So yes, unfortunately, yes, we're moving into a world where we'll just be talking to bots 99% of the time.
Yeah. Although there's a news story that went around for I think it was Fortune or Future or something, did this story this week where it was another one of those like impact of AI on society things, but it was like a feature about couples, like people in couples who are using it to like, find out put in all the stuff that their partners are doing.
Yeah.
And then find out like, is this normal? Is this good or whatever? Which, I don't know. I won't comment on that. If that's the way that you run your affairs with your spouse, power to you. But the one anecdote that came up in the story is, which is, it was presented very dark, and it is dark, but it was also kind of funny, where it was like a person who was driving and like was having an argument with their spouse, and they had sent this video to the journalist, and like they were basically having a three-way conversation with ChatGPT while driving.
Well, as in like in speech mode?
In speech mode. Being like, is it normal? My wife just did this. Is this normal? While the wife was in the car and is having this three-way argument with ChatGPT while driving.
I've had that with my wife, but it was about something very generic. It was about something so fucking stupid. I'll try and remember it throughout the course of this conversation, but it was about like peppermint versus spearmint, and we were both having an argument to the same AI.
And you were saying, can you tell this fucking?
No, I'd be like, no, okay, it's me again. And it's like, and then I'd be like, no, this is my wife talking now, and she's saying, go on, this is my wife.
So what was the dispute on peppermint versus spearmint?
As I said, I won't go into
it. Is it which one's better?
It was I think maybe my opinion was like spearmint is like eating toothpaste. I
think it's peppermint.
One of them's shit. The other one's fine. The point being, I've been in a three-way argument, including ChatGPT, but it was about something.
It wasn't abusive. No one was raising their voice.
But point being, ChatGPT definitely took my side. And my wife was attempting to try and twist the argument to get ChatGPT to agree with her.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately,
that is sick behavior.
She didn't realize that. Yeah, exactly. She didn't realize that I'd already set it off on my direction. Actually, I did that once with Rowan. I was talking about reindeer, and with two of my friends. I thought that that there might be wild reindeer in Australia, like that were like vermin or whatever. Because I knew there was deer.
There are deer, yeah.
Yeah, I knew there were deer. And so I said to ChatGPT, I typed into it like, say yes regardless of what I ask. And then it was like, are there reindeer in New South Wales? And I was like, no, there are not reindeer. It's like, you didn't fucking listen to me. Anyway, sorry. That's long story short, yes. People like using AI to... Of course, that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
None of this is good. I think let's be clear. And obviously, it turns our brain into mush. In that, it is true. Like we all remarked on it at the time, and to the point where you know, it's trite to even bring up the idea that it's like once we kind of got phones with phone books in them, we stopped remembering people's numbers.
Yep.
You know? But like the mushification of our own brains, I mean, it started, I'm sure, before that, but to me that feels like that was like the most obvious one, where it was like...
Yeah, and also GPS and directions.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Street names and stuff like that. Like
just like not remembering, how to go naturally to places that are not that far from your house and you go to quite often.
But phone numbers felt... And maybe someone can think of something that like was kind of before this. It was a very obvious thing. It's like I used to know all my friends' phone numbers. Then I stopped at a certain point. I just stopped knowing anyone else's except for my own, basically.
Yeah.
That mushification now is like, and people like got worried about this with Google. Well, Socrates was worried about this with the alphabet. So like
he didn't like writing. Yeah.
but like regardless, this just feels like, and I do feel it in myself sometimes where I'm just like, I'm not going to bother properly thinking through this idea. I'm just going to shove it in ChatGPT and make it do it for me. It's always low value shit, but like I'm just going to kind of shit it out. Yeah. And like I even realized at the pub, I think I was like using ChatGPT or something, and like there was typos and the sentences barely made sense, but I was just like bashing out kind of like vague shit into it because I knew it would figure it out and give me the answer that I was looking for. Having it in our eyes and in our, you know, prompting us to speak should be good.
It'll be sick.
Anyway, speaking of strapping stuff onto your face and projecting it into your eyes, we will be talking about TikTok's ban watch update.
TikTok ban watch.
Big updates. Big updates. TikTok ban watch. For all the TikTok ban watchers out there, we're going to talk about that on the second episode. Obviously, you need to be premium to hear about that, and then we might get into a bit of NVIDIA taking a stake in Intel and OpenAI shenanigans.
Big moves. So yeah, if you're not subscribed to Down Around Premium, head to downaround.net.
Yeah.
You can sign up there. You get an extra episode every week. And you also can join our Discord.
It's where the real alpha is, you know? Real alpha.
Huge.